boom. And boom goes the dynamite.
It's time.
See, I think it's still, is it still off?
It
looks as though it's still off.
Let's see.
We are testing to see the sound is off.
Yeah.
Our troll made a good point. We told you we take constructive criticism, people. You're making a good point.
Got to get it
All
right.
It looks like the sound is still off when it comes to the way it looks for us as we speak again today. So we'll fix that up for everybody and have it ready tomorrow. But until then, welcome back to the Gem of the Crypto, episode 191. Today is Tuesday, June 19th, and I'm King.
And I'm Bitcoin Zay, and we're here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community Monday through Friday at 10-ish.
At 10-ish. I'm trying to fix this as we talk. All right, so the free Bitcoin yesterday, who won it?
Well, we didn't have a free Bitcoin winner from yesterday. Kind of glossed over the question, didn't get to it in the middle of the promotion. So don't have one from yesterday, but we will have one today. So make sure you watch to the end to get that free Bitcoin.
There we go. And go ahead and give some shout outs. What's going on? Gabriel Hernandez, Chats for Decentralized, Tessa, John Siebert, Malik.
Oh, yeah.
Who else do we have?
Angela
they say the Dodgers suck. Come on, LA Dodgers.
Gotta represent where you live at.
Yeah, no button up today, no white shirt. Gotta have the Dino of the Day shirt because we're definitely gonna be talking about one. Let's see. Yes. Today is Relax. What was it today? Tuesday?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Marique's Purse. Thank you for the tip. $2 tip. Much appreciated. Thank you.
Much appreciated, my brother.
All right. Without further ado, you know the top story is, people, EOS is back in the news. And, of course, his browser isn't working. Oh, man. This is
EOS, man.
EOS is back in the news. Let me get this browser going first, people.
Yep. More issues, more problems.
There we go.
More bad actors, so to say.
Boom. There we go. EOS block producers freeze user funds to prevent theft, resulting in Twitter backlash. It looks as though EOS has frozen 7 accounts compromised by the registration process through phishing scams, according to a statement post by EOS 42, an EOS block producer candidate. For those who don't know, EOS is supposed to have its own constitution where they don't allow individuals to just go in and change things on their own. However, I guess this constitution hasn't yet began. So the block producers say they were left with no choice but to make an executive decision and a judiciary decision on locking the accounts. But of course, that shows its centralized model, at least right now.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on this?
I mean, as soon as he said it, I was like, wait, isn't that exactly what we're trying to get away from? But it's definitely.
Oh, Chats with Decentralized. Thank you for the tip. Much appreciated.
Yeah, he wants me to get a Mariners hat.
Oh, okay.
I'm about to wear every team in baseball. But yeah, EOS is an interesting project because, like we said before, they raise billions of dollars. They have what you call relayers, or people who approve the transactions. And for the first time, they actually took 7 accounts and took away their rights to do transactions. This is one of those things that in the crypto world we call centralization to the highest degree. I mean, people have talked about centralization of other coins, but I haven't seen a lot of coins shut down transactions. They may, sort of be centralized based on the computing power, but EOS actually went all the way with it and was like, nope, you can't do that. And some people have been calling it proof of conference call, which is kind of a joke.
That's pretty funny.
Basically, all the people who were the big names got together, got on a phone call and was like, yeah, we have an emergency order we need to put through, blah, 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 and punishing people for doing whatever. So in my opinion, EOS, at some point, they will get it together, but right now is not it. They're actually going through their whole, the bug bounties that they found on top of the centralization that's been showed now. So hopefully EOS, they can get it together. They got billions of dollars at their disposal. I don't know what it takes at that point, but they need to have a working product, and if you're going to kill Ethereum, it's going to have to be soon, because it's not looking too good.
And again, for those who don't know, EOS is it's a $4 billion project in 1 year. So
no excuses.
No excuses. I mean, I understand you had a vision, you had a plan, but you definitely had the resources now to make that come to life. So they need to make it happen. Jizzy Max said, what do you think EOS would do when the feds come knocking?
The same thing Ethereum did. They'll explain how much money they're worth, and then they'll say, oh, well, they're not a security, obviously, because what they're doing it for something else. I'm pretty sure that's going to come up as well. They just got to get it working and going.
Or realistically, they're going to pass them about $600 million and say, leave us alone for another 3 years. So.
Hey, there's other people who have done it. We'll discuss them later.
Torrance J Playlist said EOS is the future, LOL.
Everything is the future, supposedly.
Right.
But I will say, though, from a trading standpoint, when Ethereum was first coming out, Dash, Ripple, all this stuff was attached to them back when they were worth 100 times less. Right. And everybody still bought into
all the names,
all the scams, all the stuff. I mean, people saying it was centralized, people saying it couldn't work. Ripple was getting killed for years. I mean, every single coin has gotten killed. Even Bitcoin's taking its fair share of lumps. That's the only reason I say I wouldn't stay away from trading it, because you have to think opposite of what the market is thinking. As soon as everybody's like, oh, it's going down forever, that's when you have a big run of buyers, and then everybody comes in later when it's $30, $40. So
I mean, at the end of the day, still a $4 billion project.
Still a $4 billion project. I don't see people letting it fail. Not that easily. Not with a couple mistakes at the beginning. If you wasn't at the beginning of Ethereum, Dash, some of these other ones, trust me, pre-mines and scams, people cussing each other out on Reddit, it was terrible, but they found a way.
Just a year or two ago, Ethereum Classic was super low, honestly.
And
that thing steadily grew.
Yeah.
I just want to point out here, this tweet by Charlie Shrim. He's huge in crypto, one of the first few people. And of course, one of his points was, this is the point of crypto. No one should have that power being to just say, hey, we can block your funds. That is the point of crypto, where no one can control anyone's funds. That's all bets are off. And this one guy or girl, whoever retweeted, Max EOS, retweeted to him that geeks like Shrim don't understand this, but what EOS is doing is absolutely needed to bring normal people into crypto. You have to be a geek to keep crypto safe, and it's not realistic for the long term. Protecting people and punishing baddies is a pretty basic and beautiful thing. Again, sounds like the main member of the Diddly Gang to me. I get it. The user experience does, I think, need to be simplified so people can simply secure everything. But also, it's about personal responsibility too. I mean, this is your money. Yeah, you don't want to research how to secure it, how to keep it safe, and all that good stuff. Yeah. So it's one of those things where if protecting people and punishing baddies to me means you get to control others' funds. Again, that's a slippery slope. Still kind of weirded out. He called them baddies, but all right.
Right. That's what.
Again, yeah. We'll just leave that part alone. Yeah. That's EOS. We'll see what happens. Of course, we'll continue to track that story. Huge story. Next big story of the day. United States federal employees have to disclose crypto holdings following new guidance.
Surprise, surprise.
Wow. That is crazy. You don't have to disclose how much money you have in the bank or under your bed or pillowcase, or how much gold you have or silver, but you have to disclose how much of your crypto holdings you have.
Yeah. You see, they're not asking how many Beanie Babies you got.
Right.
So of course it's not.
The U.S. Office of Government Ethics, OGE, has ordered federal employees to report their holdings of virtual currency according to new guidance issued June 18th. The guidance will affect about 2 million federal employees and DoD personnel. They said the OGE does not consider virtual currency a real currency or tender. So you want to know about imaginary stuff.
Oh, so you just...
Oh, okay.
They're not, like I said, they're not collecting Beanie Babies. They're not collecting pet rocks. They didn't say how many tulips do you have. Somehow this is an issue for them.
Yeah, so basically, if you have any virtual currencies, and of course, they blamed it on the guidance, or not blamed it, but they said the development of the guidance was deemed essential because they said virtual currencies are experiencing a surge in use and access, and as a result, employees who hold virtual currencies are increasingly seeking guidance from their ethics officials concerning their financial disclosure reporting obligations. So again, the OGE isn't doing this for them, they're doing it for you. And honestly, here's the thing. Knowing these government employees, that's actually probably true, unfortunately, because these are the leaders of the Diddly Gang. Yeah, they're like chapter presidents.
They were hall monitors,
right? They've been hall monitors for a long time. Yeah. So
I wonder if they got to report their 2K tokens or anything they buy from PlayStation Network or any gaming on your phone when you buy tokens from there, because that's virtual currency. There's a difference between virtual currency and cryptocurrency. Virtual currency is simply currency that's used in a virtual manner. That's not you can't actually touch it. Cryptocurrency actually have cryptographic hash behind it. They don't.
So that's actually two different things.
Two different things, and that's what they have to get together is their definitions of things. They don't even understand it all the way. So when they tell you you have to report it, everybody gets scared and say, "Well, I should tell you about my Bitcoin and all of that stuff." But if they simply keep saying virtual currency, I would refute it. I mean, if I was a government employee, I'd be like, "Well, I'll tell you about my tokens on my little game on my iPhone." But Not about cryptocurrency.
Maurice Parks said, does that mean military people as well? Exactly. I was actually thinking that. I didn't want to say it because I'm over here plausible deniability right now. You know, like you guys made this rule up 2 or 3 years after people have been in business with it. All right.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
What's going on is me, Boss Lady. John Sieber said they would send him to a counselor. Exactly, yeah. I mean, again, it's one of those things where, again, for some of the federal employees, I can't actually see them going up their chain of command and saying, hey, what am I supposed to do with this investment money I made? Because they still haven't learned what volunteer does to you in the government.
Yeah.
But hey, that's why we got good people like that working service for us, though, so we can appreciate that. But on the flip side, it's crazy that they will say that, hey, this is for you. We want you to tell us how much you've made in crypto for your sake.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they still don't know how to advise you, even if you tell them, honestly. They know how to tell you how much they're going to take from that point forward.
Not really any advice.
Right. Coming on the heels of that article, though, Crypto Shield John McAfee blames SEC for shutting ICO pump. That is the title of a CCN story. But what's basically happening here is McAfee tweeted, due to SEC threats, I am no longer working with ICOs, nor am I recommending them, and those doing ICOs can all look forward to arrest. It is unjust, but it is reality. I am writing an article on an equivalent alternative to ICOs, which the SEC cannot touch. Please have patience. Basically, if you haven't heard, John McAfee, of course, was promoting ICOs last year, some upwards of $500,000 for one tweet. And now it sounds like you got that tap on the shoulder finally. Like, hey, you've been, hey, you remember that murder we let you? Hey, it's time to stop.
Time to stop. And McAfee, like we've always said, his fearlessness is sort of the thing that attracts people to him. One of the biggest things he's done on the internet was he goes at SEC, IRS, like he just talks to them like regular people. He hates them, of course. We've seen, you know, how he doesn't like them. But I am interested to see what he writes as far as how to get around the ICO regulation. Because if what he writes actually works, then he basically creates a whole new industry, and he'll get the credit for being able to, quote unquote, save crypto. So along with him running for president, along with him coming out with his own money, which he's printing out, actually like printing out dollars, this is another thing here where his bravery, he's basically going at the SEC, who is not really known for for taking that criticism too lightly. So we'll see exactly how this pans out. But I am interested to see what he writes, because I mean, I've seen some people write that in order for it to not be a security, you have to show a utility. Also, if you want to sell it to U.S. investors, you have to register them through KYC. So there are some ways to get through ICOs. However, I don't think you know, what we've done before will work. Oh, and they may go to jail. I mean, those people who have ICOs, the reason we stayed away from a lot of them was for that simple fact. They never defined it, and you see how they make up rules. Literally in the middle of the night, we wake up, you wake up, new rule. And it's like, what?
And you will abide by this.
And you will abide by this. Like,
even though you don't vote on any of this, you have no say, and this is a free country, so you have to love it. Maurice Parks, I'm not sure if he's being serious or joking. He said we now have to disclose those virtual coins in Candy Crush. Since Zynga is acting as an ICO or an exchange, well, only accredited investors can now purchase Candy Crush tokens. Is that real?
They open Pandora's box.
That might be real, because it makes sense.
It's a lot of... Yeah, it's a lot
of web 2K tokens. For those who don't know, it's a video game, NBA 2K tokens.
Just because the price stays the same doesn't mean it's not virtual currency. That just means that market price, somebody sets the market. So there's still virtual currency. Yeah, Candy Crush, 2K, Madden, whatever.
And to hit this, to swing this grand slam for the fourth story, and, you know, don't want to call it negativity, but it's just realism. To talk about the last realistic story, because the rest are all fun stories, is JPMorgan, of course, is back in the news. Dinosaur Diamond. That's why I'm wearing my Dino shirt. This shirt is a shout out to Dinosaur Diamond, because he is the biggest, baddest dinosaur out there. For those who don't know, Jamie Dimon is an OG, triple OG.
Triple
For those listening on, on LinkedIn, I know my LinkedIn folks listen to the podcast. That means original gangsters ×3. All right. Jamie Dimon is what I would call, one of my undergrad degrees in criminology, and we would call Jamie Dimon a career criminal. That is literally what he is. He is a career criminal. So the same person who can't stop selling drugs or who can't stop committing violent crimes, Jamie Dimon is right there with him.
He can't help himself.
He can't help himself. He keeps committing crimes and getting away with it, though. is what makes the gangster part, the OG part, is that he gets away with it.
Teflon Don.
He's a Teflon Don. But JPMorgan was just fined $65 million for manipulating the U.S. dollar benchmark.
You don't say.
And this is the same dollar that people says is backed by so much whatever. That's way better than an algorithmic model of crypto. But for those who don't know, the CFTC on Monday slapped JPMorgan Chase Bank with a $65 million fine for attempting to manipulate the value of a U.S. dollar benchmark index. This happened, it looked like, the index was, according to the CFTC, JPMorgan traders repeatedly attempted to manipulate the U.S. dollar international swaps and derivatives association fix and interest rate benchmark over a 5-year period from 2007 to 2012. Again, when the housing market collapsed, economy went to crap. These were the type of things happening. And here's the crazy part. They tried to manipulate for 5 years. So you don't think they managed to do it once successfully?
Oh, yeah.
The traders at JPMorgan Chase, some of the best traders and analysts in the entire world.
Best tools you can have.
In 5 years, didn't strike gold once. Come on, people.
They've been striking gold. And they got fined
$65 million. Do you understand? $65 million is like us getting fined $65.
Yeah. They made that yesterday. Like, what are you talking about?
So, again, shout out to Dinosaur Diamond. I mean, you talk about a career criminal and a real gangster, someone, I guess, for your kids to look up to that our government clearly adores.
Nobody's going to jail. That's crazy.
JPMorgan. I mean, hey, you can get away with it.
Yeah. So whenever you see anything about manipulation, about fraud in the crypto market, scale it down from what banks have been doing for years.
Right.
For one, crypto's only been around 9 years. For two, crypto's total market cap is $300 billion. JPMorgan's worth way more than that, and they've been doing it for hundreds of years.
Like, personally, Jamie Dimon's worth more than that. Like, he can get personally fined $65 million. He'll probably, be up in arms about it, like, hey, what's going on? But he can afford that himself. So his company, you talk about tax write-offs, corporate loopholes with IRS. People that like $65 million is nothing. He might have to pay that $65 million back in 10 or 20 years. Yeah. So really, it's not gonna be like, we'll pay like a few mil a year. But I saw John Siebert's comment. It was pretty funny. He called him Jamie the recidivist. That is actually a great way to call me. The recidivism rate is crazy in the banking world, I guess, the banking industry.
Oh, man.
But yeah, definitely had to highlight that story. Again, it's not, directly tied to crypto, but it's crypto related when you talk about regulations and how they want to regulate a global crypto market when literally the bank that is in their backyard is causing the most damage on an international scale when it comes to criminals and corruption. But
and if you didn't know, yes, fiat currency can be manipulated. It can be, the value of it versus another country can be manipulated in their favor so they can make money. And yes, Jizzy Mac, a great business model. If you can make $1 for every if you take 10 cents for every dollar you make fraudulently, yes, great business model. You just you're killing the game.
We were talking about it earlier. It's kind of funny, like if this was like a TV show where the punchline would literally be someone in like the board meeting room or the boardroom meeting saying, well, no one goes to jail. Like, we could just keep committing crimes and getting paid. And everybody's like, wait, that's a good idea. We could just do it. They're like, well, nobody's going to get in trouble. You can just keep doing it.
Let's do it again.
And that's the brilliant idea of some of these banks. It's like, hey, just keep committing the crime and paying everybody off.
Run it back.
And it's been working for a very long time. That's right, Sumitra, a very long time.
Oh, yeah.
All right, good news articles, though. Poketoshi game brings Nintendo's Pokemon onto Bitcoin Lightning Network. What is going on with this? Man. How is this possible? So many questions.
I've been waiting my whole life for this.
Right?
For Pokemon enthusiasts, shout out to the Portuguese software engineer, last name Almeida. He's created Poketoshi, a platform where you can play Pokemon through the Lightning Network, which we've talked about extensively. There's been so much development going on with it behind the scenes. They don't have a marketing team. They don't have ICO. Lightning Network is just a group of developers, of people who want to build it. And there's a guy who figured out a way that you can actually play Pokemon. And the way it works is every time you want to use a different move, you have to pay 1 Satoshi, which is very, very cheap. I think 1 Satoshi, I think you need 1 million Satoshis to even get to close to $1. So it's one of those games where every move you have is 1 Satoshi. Satoshi, and the payments are made through OpenNode, which is a payment processor on Bitcoin.
Micro payments too now.
Micro payments. So
this is what it's coming to. We talked about this before.
Oh yeah. So the bigger picture is now that you have a game where each action or each thing you do.
That's what's going to come down to. Though. Each action will be a payment.
Each action is a payment. So in a bigger process, music. When you watch movies, when you do whatever, every time you
stream things and pay in less than pennies, people.
Oh yeah, and you only pay for what you use. So that's another thing. If you don't need the certain moves, you don't pay as much. Some people do. Also, on an even bigger scale, think about electricity.
I would say air conditioning.
If you don't use it, you don't need. If you don't use
no monthly bills anymore. It's just you literally, as you use it, it just takes Satoshis from your account.
People who drive more, they pay more. People who I don't know, people who work out more, they, like we said before, they get paid more. So it's one of those things that micro payments using Lightning Network is coming, and I think they still have a few more tests to do in order to make sure it works completely properly. But trust me, they are out here. They are building it. They already on it.
I mean, the remote right here is perfect. I'm looking at this as Nintendo. Of course, we know the technology curve now tech is moving a lot faster than it did in the past, so it won't take as long to get from Nintendo to PS4 as in this sense, but we're looking at Nintendo right now. Again, it's the same as dial-up internet. So now we're looking at a timeline of these micropayments or being able to use platforms like this. How long would it take to go from Nintendo, what it is right now, you know, we're just opening the Bitcoin or Lightning Network node, all the way to PS4 where, like you said, music, TV.
It took about
how many years will it take now? So 3 to 5 years maybe? We'll see what happens.
And this is even faster. So 3 to 5 years in my opinion. Simply because you have people working on this around the clock, and they don't have anything.
People are working on it for fun. People are doing it for fun.
That's why it reminds people of the website era, because there were people that would spend their entire days just making websites because they wanted to learn it. So same thing with this micropayments, totally different system, totally different market. Definitely,
whoever exciting. Cracks the first main business that could actually almost how Ethereum hosts dApps, and here's a good business plan. If you can create the micropayments platform that helps businesses just strictly integrate into it, and you already host how they're going to get the micropayments and set up and all that, I mean, that's a huge business. I mean, that is big. That's a multi-billion-dollar business right there.
Yeah, especially in video games.
Right.
If you market it as you never have to go to GameStop again, you're a millionaire tomorrow, because nobody likes going to GameStop.
No.
So yeah, it's coming.
Whoever wanted, take that idea. Give us a tip for it. Come on. Paris Hilton's hotel mogul father to sell $38 million mansion for cryptocurrency. I'm just looking at how they threw Paris Hilton in there. They had to for the clickbait. But Rick Hilton, chairman of Hilton and Highland, I mean, because Paris Hilton is more important than him, but and father of the American socialite reality TV star Paris Hilton, is selling the $38 million Palazzetto mansion through a cryptocurrency auction. The 16th century mansion is located in Rome, has 11 bedrooms and 15 bathrooms. Wow. Way to do it for the crypto, though. I mean, $38 million for sale. Bitcoin is being accepted. Again, these are the people. This is the market. This is the market speaking. It doesn't matter what the SEC says, the banks say, whoever says it's real or not. This is the market saying, hey, you got $38 million in Bitcoin or some Ether or crypto. I'll take that.
I'll take that. Yeah.
I know what to do with it and make it whatever I want it to. So,
and I wonder which crypto they take, because somebody said Ripple or Tron or Skycoin.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, some of these ICOs will reach out to us, right?
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be straight Bitcoin. Like, they're not sending.
We can't pay you in Bitcoin, but we can pay you in.
Yeah, exactly. You just created that out of thin air, buddy.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure they're gonna take Bitcoin. This is good though. They've been in the industry, the real estate industry, a long time, and we discussed Proppy, the platform that they actually used, the international real estate platform they used to actually auction it off.
Oh, Proppy. We haven't discussed Proppy.
We discussed them before, so good to see that they're moving along. And as we say, with businesses in the Bitcoin space, they're moving along while whatever news is going on, they're still working. So.
And this is honestly, it's kind of unfair at first, but that's why you do have to get to that point where you can get lawyers and stuff. Because once you do have a little bit of money in the bank, especially again for a lawyer, you can move like this and you can make these deals, you make these businesses happen. That's how you literally beat the regulations. With Andreas Antonopoulos kind of pointed to months ago, where he's like, you have to create faster than they can regulate. But this is how you do it. You just keep pushing, you keep pushing the envelope, you keep pushing the envelope. There's gonna be times where you gotta, all right, you know, SEC is out here arresting people for no reason, and then you push the envelope again. So
yep, and then you just pay whatever you owe, and then keep on moving.
I hope Crypto Buyer does actually do it. So we'll see. All right. Other than that, what are we doing for the free Bitcoin today?
Oh, yeah. So for the free Bitcoin, I want to keep the discussion going about U.S. government workers who have to give up their information. Do you think they should? Also, do you think they will? That's another thing we can discuss as well with virtual currency. Do you think government agents will disclose their crypto holdings? And do you think it's fair? Put your public address and we'll send those free Satoshis.
All right. Shout out to the land of the free. Other than that, you all have a happy, what's today? Tuesday? Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth.
Have a good one.
Learn about it. Expose yourself to something different. And we will see you all tomorrow bright and early at 10-ish.